was since my childhood, uh, my mom, may the Lord repose her soul, she had to tell me that you have another mother. Her
Mm,
name is Saint Mary,
mm,
and she can take care of you wherever you are. So keep in touch with her, talk to her all the time. And because Jesus Christ, our Lord, always listening to her, and her intercession is very strong. And she can be with you anywhere. I'm not with you always, but she can. So we grow up, and that uh, a perspective that the saints around us, the story of the saints. So, and I think also there is some very important thing that it's the monasticism is a call,
mm,
like priesthood as a call is a call. Also the monasticism is a call. So I think God, with His mercy, invited me and called me for that such a great life which I don't deserve.
mm. So how old was your reference when your mom was telling you about establishing a relationship with St. Mary? Like how young
Five,
did she ask you to start? Yeah.
5, 6 years old.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's incredible. And your reverence like started talking to her at that
yeah.
age, yeah. Mm.
Thank God I've seen her in Saint Mary Church in Zaytun when I was
Really?
very young. So the relationship yeah, increased and increased, and the attachment became very. I think I was very, very, very close to her.
That's amazing. Can you, Reverence, elaborate on what you've seen in Zaytun? If you remember
I
anything.
yeah, I've seen that there were Saint Mary standing beside the cross in blue, and everyone was screaming, screaming, and I was screaming more than anybody else. I was on top of the shoulder of my dad, and I kept saying Saint Mary, and Dad said, "Okay, Habibi, okay, we all seeing her like you." So it was a great blessing, actually.
Yeah. How many people were around you? Like a lot?
Thousand,
Thousand?
thousand, hundred
Thousand.
thousand, 200,000. Those who have seen her, millions.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I was
Christians,
talking with
Muslims.
somebody,
Mm.
atheist about that, and he said to me, it's a group hallucination. I said, group hallucination. Can you tell me group hallucination can make miracles? Because I've seen miracles in front of my eyes. A paralyzed man can stand up. A blind man can got his sight on the spot.
Really? So can you tell
Yes.
us about this a bit? So let's start with the paralyzed man. These are very fascinating stories. The paralyzed man
Abuna,
was he next to you?
there were until lately, and there is one of them still alive. Three monks were not Christian; they were Muslims. Two
Hmm.
of them were paralyzed, and one born blind. And all of them at the appearing of Saint Mary in Zaytun has been got the miracle to be cured, and they they came into Christianity willingly with all the torture they had. They
Wow.
kept saying it was at that time it was very, very hard for somebody not Christian to be Christian, and
Yeah.
they accept all the torture and suffering just to be Christian because they've seen Saint Mary.
So they've told you about their personal stories, Abuna, or you've seen them with you, like on the spot?
I've seen them. I met them, and they told me their story. And one of them was living with us in St. Anthony Monastery for a while. He's from another monastery.
Hmm. So they heard about Samaria and went there to be healed, or did they just happen to be there? Like, do you know? Did they pray a lot
He
to get
had
healed?
the
Or?
one was with us. He was originally born blind, and he was 18, I think, or something like that. Then he said he heard the people saying Saint Mary, Saint Mary. He was from Zaytun also. So he said to her, if you are really appearing in front of everyone, they believe in Saint Mary as
Yeah.
Settina Mariam. So he said,
Mhm.
if you are really there, let me see. immediately on the spot, he got his sight. So he kept saying, I'm Christian. And because he saw her, first
Mm.
thing he had seen, Saint Mary on
Oh,
the church, top
what a
of the church.
blessing. Yeah, that's
That's
incredible.
incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Abby, I think sometimes we forget how close of a relationship the Coptic Church specifically has with the Holy Mother, because um, not only did she comfort us in when her apparition in Zaytun, but the fact that Egypt had the opportunity to be able to host the Holy Family, and I know we just celebrated on June 1st. The
Yeah,
feast of the Lord's entry into Egypt, the relationship that exists between the Holy Mother and the Coptic Church is absolutely incredible. So to hear that from a young age, you were always instructed to see her as your own mother, I think it's just an indication of just how Copts absolutely love her as our Holy Mother.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tell me, Father, were you there when they cut off the electricity in the neighborhood, and or did you hear about it at least? Because that's all we
Uh,
hear
I,
in the stories,
I wasn't there, but I heard about the story. And actually, even when we were there, there were no light because they had to do that every night. It's not once. They had to
Really?
do that because in the beginning of her appearance, uh, many didn't believe it. While the first one who saw her was not Christian,
Hmm.
Yeah, it's true.
but the government did that on purpose because they don't know is it true. At that time, 1968, there were no technology to say it's a 3D light or
Yeah.
something, or nothing like that was there. Even no computer at that time. Actually, yeah, it was dark, but her light was very, very clear and
Mm,
very bright. Yeah, anybody can see it, even the blind.
yeah. That's hilarious. And it lasted weeks, right? Was it about 3 weeks approximately? Or
She
was it more than
stayed.
that?
She stayed for 2 years, Abuna.
Yeah, it was well,
two
well over.
years.
Her
إيه
apparitions were continuous
Yeah,
for almost 18 months to 2 years.
yeah.
Wait, I
And
didn't
it
know
was
that.
consistent. Yeah, yeah. It was one of the longest, historically, one of the longest appearances. So even the Catholic Church recognizes it as Our Lady of Zaytun because of how long the apparitions were.
That's
And
incredible.
until I prayed as a priest in 70, 79, when I prayed a liturgy there in the little church, there were no cathedral yet. Actually, it was still from time to time appearance in the church, and many people had to come for
It's
many
amazing.
miracles happening.
Wow.
It's really
And
amazing.
this was the time during the time of Pope Carlos VI, right? Who was a great saint among the many saints that we have in the Coptic Church.